Hello, I'm Granville, Emerson, and welcome to Lidline Sports with my sports enthusiast, Seattle's own Renault, Pepe Bean. What up, bro?
What? Be up.
We are all the way live once again. That's 2 weeks in a row live on Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Like I say, live, all the way live. Forget about whatever trouble you had from 9 to 5 and join us for the next hour as we talk sports all over the nation and right here in the 206.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, we talked about it. OJ got free.
Yeah, he's free. No surprise to us. We said that he was going to be let go.
Yeah, we did. I didn't care either way, but always good to see a brother go free in the judicial system that we have here in America. That's another story for another day. OJ, some people are mad about it. Some people are mad about it, but I'm like, whatever. He served time. Even if you thought that he committed the crime, he ended up serving time anyway.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
So, whatever. Also, it must be a Free a Brother week because Ghost from Power also got set free on the last episode.
Okay, I don't watch that. So
you don't watch Power?
No, man.
Come on, man. The whole world is watching Power,
Except
man.
me and Game of Thrones.
Man,
I don't watch
you
that.
You gotta watch Power.
Well, I watch Korean dramas.
I'm not Korean dramas.
Yes, that's a story for another time.
What is the number one Korean drama that you watch?
My Father is Strange.
Yeah, My Father is Strange.
Yes.
Okay, is it in Korean?
Yeah, but it's dubbed, so I can read it.
Oh, it's
awesome.
got subtitles.
Yeah, it's awesome.
All right, so their lips aren't moving in English. You're coming out.
No, it ain't like the old movie, Kung Fu movie.
Okay.
Father.
I told you can't have any rice balls.
No, rice cakes for father. Tea cakes for mother.
I told the people who I had been communicating with that Ghost was going to get out and that Angela would come to the rescue. So those of you that watch Power, of which Pepe is late to the party, we'll try to get him there.
I'm not going to that party.
That is a good show. Also on today's show, breaking news. Derrick Rose just signed a 1-year, $2.1 million deal with the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Goodbye, Kyrie.
You think?
I think so.
We'll have more on.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to the Sounders, Seattle Sounders. Last week against the DC United, they were down 2-0 at intermission. Beginning of the second half, they let another goal slip in, and they were down 3-0. So what happens? Everybody said, "Oh man, what's up?" Well, they scored 4 goals in 27 minutes, and that's unheard of in soccer because that's equivalent to like Magic and the Lakers doing a 20-0 run in 6 minutes. I mean, that's crazy. But kudos to them.
Yeah. How many goals? 4 goals?
4 goals in 27 minutes, bro. And that's we're talking about soccer.
I mean,
that does not happen.
Yeah. I mean, what was that goalie doing? What was he?
And that's without 3 key stars, too. No Dempsey, no Alonso, and no Stephon Fry.
That's like scoring 6 touchdowns in a minute.
I'm saying. I mean, really.
4 goals. I mean, soccer games end up like 1-0, 2-0 the whole 90 minutes. Yeah, I mean, even the MLS soccer championship went in overtime.
Right, nothing. It was 0-0.
Yeah, it was 0-0.
It went on a shootout.
Somebody got 2 goals for the Sounders, I heard.
Right.
I actually kind of saw some highlights.
Right, I don't remember who it was.
Come on, man.
My bad.
Yeah, don't be bringing me no Sounders stuff. You ain't got no detailed information.
Oh, did you want to talk about the M's then?
The Mariners? Come on, man. The Mariners is nothing to see there. They
closed the roof.
They lost the series to your Yankees. That's what he really wants me to say, folks.
Thank you.
They lost to his Yankees 1-3.
Hey, I said sweep, but I'll take 3-1.
And Aaron Judge hit a home run. They say
to Tacoma.
They say he hit it to MLK.
Yeah,
which is about 3 miles away.
It was crazy.
So kudos to the Yankees for coming and getting 3 out of those M's. There's still 2.5 games.
Oh, here we go.
Out of the wild card spot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I actually got a ticket. I will be going to the Mariners game on September 1st. I can't remember who they're playing, but I just got hooked up with
tickets. It
tickets.
don't matter. They won't be in it anyway.
Hey, well, it's like I keep telling you, man. it's the perfect place to go on a warm summer night.
Word.
To the safe.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
Man, eat some food, watch the game.
Oh, yeah, they got good food.
Laugh at the people.
Man.
So the last time I went, Pep, I had this dude sitting in front of me. His head was so big. I was sitting between first base and third base, and all I could see was the bases. I was like, man, can you just go down a little bit so I can see the game? I'm like, I got really good seats, but now I got bad seats because your head's so big. On today's show, we'll talk more about Derrick Rose to Cleveland. Kyrie wants to leave the Cavaliers.
Yes,
Another NBA talk. We'll talk NFL training camp opens.
Right.
We'll talk NFL. We'll talk about the top 5 rookie QBs. We'll go over, who might start when during the season. And should black people boycott or not boycott the NFL because of Colin Kaepernick? We'll also talk college football rankings, where the Huskies are ranked this year after finishing in the top 4 last year, as well as some key games to watch in September.
Gotcha.
We'll start the show off, though, with Lavar Ball being back in the news.
What?
While coaching his big baller AAU team at the Double Pump Best of the Summer tournament in Anaheim, California, Ball was issued a technical foul for arguing with the ref.
How do you get a technical in Summer League?
Well, you can't.
I know that, but I'm just saying, really?
I mean, I've gotten technicals for yelling at my players in Summer League. The ref thought I was yelling at him.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, dude, I'm yelling at my players. I'm not
Right.
yelling at you. I mean, I get ridiculous technicals. Like, really? You
Right,
called
right,
a technical on me for that? So, but the issue was he pulled his team off the floor.
Right.
Right? I mean, what kind of example is that for kids, man? Like, he was up 69-60 in a playoff game down at the Double Pump, where actually my team, EBC 17s, actually won that tournament, the gold division, last summer this time. It's a very good tournament. Thank you. It's a very good tournament, one of the best tournaments on the West Coast.
Gotcha.
And to do that at that tournament where a lot of people, if you see the video, a lot of people had come out to watch that game. And so to pull your team off the court says 2 things. Like, number 1, I don't care about the money you paid to get in here to see this game.
Right.
And number 2, it's setting a bad example for the kids.
Terrible.
And I think, like, AAU has just gotten carried away now. I had my team down in Salem, Oregon over the weekend, Friends of Hoop 16s. And, man, I saw a coach just go off on a referee, a female ref. I mean, he called her everything under the sun. She threw him out the game, forfeited his game. He's still talking about her, arguing with her. And I'm like, man, will you stop? I'm like, that's uncalled for. I'm like, you play 1,000 AAU games. Why are you so upset about this one game? Then I saw another game where they were playing behind us, and the guy got thrown out the game. The coach got thrown out the game for arguing with the referee. Now, folks, listen. If you watch basketball long enough, you know, even if you watch the NBA, you see referees miss calls and make up phantom calls.
Yeah,
right?
All the time.
So here you have, now understand the situation, you have referees that start working at 8 a.m. and they may ref 4 to 6 games throughout the day, right?
Right.
This game, they're like 2 or 3 games into the game. It is 92 degrees outside. The gym has no air conditioning.
Like the old Boston Garden.
Yeah, exactly. And so you got to cut the refs some slack. You know they're going to miss calls. You know they're going to make bad calls. And number 1, if they're reffing AAU games, it's not like they're the top high school officials. Right? Those are officials out there trying to referee, trying to learn how to referee,
get the experience
trying to make some money. And so for you to berate an official like nonstop for like 15 minutes is just ridiculous and embarrassing to me as a fellow coach. We have to have better decorum than to go off on officials. Yeah, they're going to make bad calls. Yeah, they're going to. We had a referee call a travel call in my game where we had came back. It was 20-2 to begin with. We closed the lead and got the lead at 1. He called a travel call on the other team. And I was like, ooh, that was a bad call on the other team. He didn't travel. And then he came down and called a travel call on us. I was like, okay, that's a makeup call.
Makeup, right.
But then,
choose your battles.
Yeah, but then with about 6 seconds left and us up by 1, dude comes off the ball pick, takes 3 bunny hops. And the ref doesn't call traveling. Right?
Right.
Dude missed a shot at the buzzer, we win. But still, that's the referees. You know what I mean?
Right.
They make bad calls, they make up calls. And so, man, come on, Lavar Ball. You are an icon now, right?
Yes.
Everybody knows who you are. You know, have some respect for the game and have some respect for your players, because that might have been their opportunity to win the championship. They were in the semis.
Right.
You know what I mean? And as a coach told me last week when we won the championship at Bellevue, that anytime you win a championship, you need to celebrate it.
Right.
Because it's a big thing.
And it's for those kids. It's not for you.
Absolutely. So, I don't know. I'm just disappointed at the direction AAU basketball is going. It's such a great thing because players get the opportunity to get out there in front of college coaches.
Right.
Which last weekend was a college viewing period.
Okay.
And so there are a lot of coaches there. And
some talented kids out there.
A lot of talent.
Amazing.
It was a crazy weekend too, Pep. Someone got killed in the parking lot behind my hotel in Salem. So at 4 a.m. in the morning, they got shot and killed. Had to go into the crime scene to get the car to go to my game.
Oh my goodness!
And the body was laying on the ground. I'm like, man, what is going on? And I talked to the police officer, and he told me that in Salem they've got a homicide problem.
Wow.
As small as the town is.
You don't really. People don't realize that it doesn't matter how large of a city or small a town. Crime is a problem everywhere. America is really off the chain with that.
That's exactly why I'm bringing it up, because a lot of times in the media, it's the black community that's shown that has a number of different killings, but America has a homicide problem.
It ain't just Chicago, folks.
America has a homicide problem. Back to sports. You're listening to Lidline Sports with Granville, Emerson, and Renault Pepe Bean.
Yes,
we
sir.
are live on Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Tell your mama, your daddy, that brother in the alley to click on and give us a listen. The NC2A football preseason top 10, the top 25 came out. Let's look at the top 10.
Yes, sir. Bama.
Who's number 1?
Bama.
Bama is number 1.
USC, Ohio State, Florida State, Clemson, Penn State, Oklahoma, Washington, Michigan, and Georgia round out the top 10.
What number is Washington?
8.
Washington is number 8 in the polls. The Crimson Tide return quarterback Jalen Hurts.
Right. He'll be hurting, folks.
He threw for over 300 some yards in the spring game and 2 TDs.
Nice.
He's not a thrower.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
nice.
for him to do that, I mean, he stepped up his game a little bit, because
definitely
his forte was not throwing, was running with the ball. So I thought he was very composed as a freshman last year.
Oh yeah.
And he will make a lot of noise this fall for the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Roll Tide.
USC comes in at number 2. Sam Darnold, their quarterback, Heisman preseason favorite.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, he is. He took over for my guy, Max.
Now, Max, he went to. Did he go to Pitt?
He transferred?
Yeah, he transferred.
He did?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I didn't know that, no. I did not know that.
I'm pretty sure he went back east.
So he'll play his 5th year at Pitt?
I guess so.
Okay.
Now, I might be wrong on the school, but I'm pretty sure he transferred back east.
Okay. I'll look into that. But USC, I thought arguably USC was the best team in the country last year. They just didn't make it into the playoffs.
Right.
But
they had that hiccup against Alabama, I guess, if you want to call it a hiccup.
Yeah, that was the first game of the season.
Yeah, they got roasted.
Yeah.
But after that, they were pretty formidable.
They will be formidable this year, too. The Ohio State Buckeyes, some ranking services have Ohio State listed as number 1.
Right.
They've got a new offensive coordinator in Kevin Wilson, and some good playmakers in JT Barrett, Seems like he's been there forever. Quarterback. And running back Demario McCall. Should put up some good numbers for the Ohio State Buckeyes. So we're looking to see what they're going to do. Florida State at number 4.
Well, hey, they got a big test right away.
Well, their freshman quarterback last year will have a whole season underneath his belt. And so Florida State is always in the hunt. Clemson looks to replace Deshaun Watson. They're at number 5. And we'll see if they're able to do that. He took them to the championship game 2 years in a row.
Yes.
And so there's big shoes to fill.
Huge.
With the Clemson Tigers at the quarterback position.
Shoes.
The team with the ugliest uniforms in the nation are number 6, Penn State Nittany Lions.
Oh, yeah. Plain Jane.
Man. I do want to give the Penn State Nittany Lions a big shout out for making it all the way back after the fiasco that they had with Jerry Sandusky and all that, and the program was all the way back. So big ups to them.
Right.
Oklahoma back in the top 10. The Oklahoma Sooners.
Yes, I got several friends that love them.
Bob Stoops he just can flat out coach.
Yes.
He's been there for
he gets players
a long time. He gets players down there, and so they're at number 7. And then the hometown, Washington Huskies, at number 8.
Yes.
I would like to see them move up and get up to as high as 2 or 3. The only problem is their schedule is whack.
Well, it usually always is the beginning, you know.
Yeah, well, it really is.
Montana State and Rutgers and Shoeshine State.
Fresno State. Yeah, but we'll talk about that later. Right. Jake Browning threw for 43 touchdowns last year.
Right.
Coming off of shoulder surgery. Shoulder surgery went well, so we're looking for him to do big things again.
I like the running backs, too.
Well, their running backs are crazy. And so we're looking for him to do great things, and we're looking to see how they're going to replace your guy, John Ross.
Right. Yeah. Well, we'll find out. Your guy, McClatcher, right? He's still there.
Yeah, well, I think that Chico McClatcher is definitely somebody to watch. He was like, I thought before he got hurt last year, he was the most exciting football player in Seattle, including the Seahawks. So we'll see. Michigan Wolverines are number 9, and the Georgia Bulldogs are at number.
Now Georgia's 2. Got a local boy here at quarterback, Jake Eason.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's from here.
Yeah.
And he went all the way down there to play, and good for him, you know, that he decided to broaden his horizons and go somewhere where he could do some damage, and that's what he's doing. He did very well last year with Georgia. I saw him do a couple of game winners on national TV, so, you know, kudos to him.
Well, I have to check him out.
Yeah, he's
this
good.
Year. Share your comments on Facebook and Lidline Sports at yahoo.com. This is Lidline Sports with Granville, Emerson. You can just call me G, and Renault, call him Pepe. Bean. Top games to watch over the Labor Day weekend. It's going to be a football-filled weekend. It gets started with a bang with Florida State, number 4 Florida State, taking on number 1 Alabama on Saturday, September 2nd. That is, I will be posted watching that game right there. That's how you start off the season in college football. Florida State and Alabama.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And then earlier that day is Michigan and Florida. Then the Battle of Virginia takes place the next day, September 3rd. West Virginia plays at Virginia Tech.
All right.
You would think they play all the time, but they really don't. They haven't played that game in quite some time. And so that's really going to be something to see the whole atmosphere that will take place with West Virginia taking on Virginia Tech. Texas A&M goes to UCLA. That's an interesting game.
Now, that should be something. I mean, that's going to be, 45, 42, something like that, right off the bat.
Well, I know this. Both head coaches, Kevin Sumlin for Texas A&M and Jim Mora for UCLA, are on the hot seat. And they've got to got to do it
Right.
this season and do it big. Let's see what UCLA will do in the Pac-12. Top Husky games to watch. We talked about it after that cupcake tourney of Rutgers, Montana, and Fresno State. The Huskies traveled to Colorado in a rematch of last year's Pac-12 championship.
Right. Colorado is going to be smoking hot. They're going to be out for revenge.
Yeah, they can be out for all the revenge they want to. I don't
Well,
think
they're at home, so
they're at home,
and that atmosphere. Hey, it gets folks. Don't take them lightly.
Yeah, I don't take them lightly.
Dismiss it.
But what I like, the Huskies returned 9 offensive starters from last year's team, right? And so I liken this game at Colorado, September 23rd. I liken that game to when the Huskies went to Utah last year.
Right.
Tough place to win.
Tough play.
Against a very good team.
And an awesome running back.
Right.
That cat was something else.
Yeah, and they stepped up their game and came out of Utah with the win. So I don't expect anything less from them when they travel to Colorado on September 23rd.
All right.
Then they have back-to-back home games against UCLA. That is going to be a game at home. And I hope that they learn from when USC came up here and smacked us last year.
Yes.
Right? That regardless of what they've done up until that point, that they've got to come out. What your ranking is, you can't be smelling yourself, believing the hype of your press clippings, whatever your ranking is, but prepare for the game, go out and play with purpose and with confidence and get that win against UCLA, because that's going to be critical in them winning the division.
Definitely.
And then we have Oregon here, and Oregon will be wanting payback.
Yeah, well, the Huskies dropped 70 on them down there last year.
Like it was a basketball game.
Woo! Yes. I thought Markelle Fultz was playing that game. He was dishing. I mean, Jake Browning was just putting it on him. But, so Oregon. But you know what? The Huskies, they got the revenge from 10, 11 years of futility. So, Oregon can, like you said, they can want what they want. But are they going to get it? No.
They played UCLA on October 28th and Oregon on November 4th, both games at Husky Stadium. Then they traveled to Stanford on November 10th.
Another revenge game because they destroyed Stanford last year.
And this game will be nationally televised.
Right.
It's a Friday night game on SFS.
Yeah,
on FS1.
Just like last year's was, too.
Yeah.
On a Friday. It was on a Friday and national TV, and the Huskies just put it on them.
Oh, yeah, we had a blackout, huh? That was a blackout game. Yeah, I remember that. And then the Cougs come to town to Coug it up on Saturday, 11/25. The Washington State Cougars will be here to lose the Apple Cup.
Digest that turkey.
If you are Washington State University alumni and you're listening to
we got lots of those listening.
Go ahead and defend your Cougs. Say something. Hit us up.
What do you know about defense?
Well, I will say that their coach, the Pirate, he has them playing better than any other Washington State team that's been around for a while. And so,
all right,
they could come in and upset the Huskies, but not. On to the NFL. Training camps are open. That means football season pep is nigh.
Sweet.
That means close, bruh. It is close to being football season.
The word.
Seahawks are one of the last teams to start training camp. They start training camp Sunday, July 31st. All eyes are on the Seahawks O-line.
Definitely.
Projected starters: Fant at left tackle. Jokel at left guard.
Right.
Britt at center.
Right.
Glowinski at right guard.
Okay.
And
will he smell good?
I don't know. But Jermaine Ifedi at right tackle. So for the umpteenth year in a row, we have a different starting offensive line. And for the umpteenth year in a row, those dudes that played last year are playing different positions.
Right.
I'm like, come on, man. Will they stop tinkering with the offensive line and let them dudes learn how to play a position and get comfortable in one position?
Yep. That's why I say game one, they're going to get beat.
Tom Capel is Dr. Frankenstein.
Yes, he is. I said.
He's always tinkering with it, man.
Yep.
Also, all eyes are on running back Eddie Lacy.
Right.
To see if he
can stay away from the buffet.
Well, he has stayed away from the buffet. He has met all of his weight obligations. And so we're waiting to see if he has no lingering effects from his foot surgery. And if he does not have lingering effects, I'm looking for Eddie Lacy to have a big year.
Right.
And carry a big load. And the Seahawks to have an incredible running attack with Thomas Rawls.
Yeah, as long as he don't
and
get hurt.
CJ Procise.
Yeah.
Well,
that guy, I like
you
him.
can say that about all three of them.
Right,
all three of them have been hurt. So,
Right.
I mean, that's the key to winning any championship is avoiding the injury bug.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're waiting to see that. I predict
There you go.
the first game of the season, we're coming out of Green Bay with the W.
I don't see it, bro, but okay.
Well, you know, Stevie Wonder don't see it either, but it's going to go down.
Man, you went there?
It's going down like that.
Are you going there with an offensive line in question and running backs in question? You saying they're coming out with a win?
I think that all that is in question, but I think that they will be ready for the first game of the season, and the Seahawks are on a mission this year.
Well, historically, they don't play well in Lambeau, and you know that. And it doesn't matter what time of year, when it happens. I mean, this is the perfect time to be there in September. But
you know what happens with history?
Hey.
Somebody does something different, and it becomes more history.
Yeah, well, I think more of the same, bro.
When we come back, we'll talk about 5 rookie QBs that could start at some point this season for an NFL team on Lidline Sports, right after this. Don't go away. Welcome back to Lidline Sports. I'm Granville Emerson along with Renault Pepe Bean. We are live on Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Want to give a shout out and a thanks for listening to Manuel Manny Rizzola, who says he's listening. And Pep, you need to check out Power, though.
Miss me.
Told you, man.
I love you, bro. You know I do. You my boy there.
All right. So we're talking about the 5 rookie NFL QBs who might start, according to Touchdown Wire. Number 5 is a sleeper pick. Kyle Shanahan, the coach of the San Francisco 49ers, will start 3rd round pick from Iowa, C.J. Beathard, by the end of the season.
Well, considering what they have, he's probably their best choice.
Who they have?
Matt Barkley and Brian Hoyer.
Oh, they're nice. They might be taking San Francisco to at least a win.
Do they play Cleveland?
That might be the one if they do. So C.J. Beathard, we'll see. C.J. Beathard is from Iowa, and so we'll see what he does. Both Barkley and Hoyer are not really NFL starting quarterbacks, and so they may go with the youth movement and start Beathard. We'll have our eyes on that. I have some friends that are 49er fans, so we'll see.
Right.
Number 4, Texas Tech quarterback Patrick Mahomes gets no tick for the KC Chiefs unless Alex Smith gets hurt.
True.
Yeah.
True story.
Patrick Mahomes, who I couldn't even understand why they drafted him so high, he gets the opportunity to hold a clipboard for 16 games and learn. Yeah, well,
right.
Plus, yeah, the Chiefs will probably be in the playoffs.
Right.
And learn from the vet, which is a good deal. I mean, don't throw him to the wolves like they did Blake Bortles and see what has become of him. And so we'll see. They're in love with Patrick Mahomes' arm, and they say he can make all these different kinds of throws. I'm like, whatever. I didn't see him do all the time. I didn't see him do all that at Texas Tech, so they didn't take them anywhere. So we'll see what happens with the KC Chiefs. Number 3, Deshaun Kaiser from Notre Dame could take over as the Browns starter ahead of Cody Kessler and your dude Brock Osweiler.
B.O. No. Well, honestly, why not? I mean, well, Kessler did play pretty well towards the end of the season, so he might surprise. He might actually step up. So I'm not going to say that Kaiser is going to fill in the role right now. I'm going to say Cody Kessler is going to be the man until otherwise, of course. So we'll see what's up.
Do the Browns have the luxury to keep 3 QBs?
Well, you know what they say: if you got 3 quarterbacks,
You don't
have one.
I know.
So,
But keeping 3 QBs is a luxury. Like, most teams don't keep 3. I mean, unless they're going to put Deshaun Kaiser on the practice squad.
right.
I don't know, but we'll see. Cody Kessler did finish the season strong.
You did.
Brock Osweiler, yeah.
The Browns were pretty competitive for the most part. Last year they didn't get destroyed or blown out a lot. They lost a couple of close games that they probably should have won or could have won. So the Browns, they might surprise.
I like their coach. I like Hugh Jackson. I like Hugh Jackson when he was the Raiders coach.
Right.
I thought they should have retained him when he was with the Raiders, but they didn't. They got the guy who they need now in Jack Del Rio. But I've always liked Hugh Jackson, and I'm looking to see him actually bring the Browns into some level of competitiveness.
Mm-hmm.
And so he did do that by the end of last season, and looking forward to seeing him carry it forward with the Browns, because the Browns deserve a good football team. They have like the best fan base
They do have a good
in the
fan
world.
base. Right.
And
The dog pound is crazy.
they've been garbage for years, but the dog pound is still
Barking.
and
Growling.
coming to the games all dressed up in their costumes,
Yeah.
and their fans are so resilient. So I would love to see Cleveland get back to some level of competitiveness.
Well, the Cavs and the Indians have brought the level.
They're coming to get you, Pep.
They brought their level. They got their level up. I mean, the Cavs been in the finals and they've actually won. The Indians were in the World Series last year. So Cleveland has been on the come up lately,
Yeah.
as far as their sports team. So maybe the Browns can come up a little bit. I'm not saying they're going to get in the playoffs or beyond, but at least to some respectability, that'll work out for them.
Well, all I know is when Eric Metcalf, who's like a family to me, was playing for the Cleveland Browns, and I was going to their games, and just the Browns fans and Browns backer club, but they were just such great people and such loyal fans that they deserve to have a winner.
Well, I'm not going to give them too many accolades. I mean, I'm a Steelers fan, so that's a
Well,
chief rival.
We would not expect you to,
Right,
bro.
Exactly. All right. So what I said about the Browns, that's it. All right.
Oh, yeah, okay, good.
Don't expect no more from that.
Yeah, go ahead and soak your anger in them 3 rivers, bro. Number 2, the top QB picked in the 2017 draft, Mitch Trubisky out of North Carolina, will take over as the Chicago Bears starting quarterback after 3 games.
Listen, you used to quarterback at a high level. They do well to have you.
Yeah, because they got Mike Glennon.
Yeah.
They went and got Mike Glennon, to be their starter.
And then he got upset when they drafted Trubisky.
Yeah, he was tripping. Well, because he thought that was his opportunity. He's like, he's like, this is my opportunity to start.
Treated him like a redheaded stepchild. Oh, wait a minute. Isn't he redheaded? He sure is.
Yeah. So Mike Glennon, former Tampa Bay quarterback, is the starter, named the starter going into training camp.
Yes.
Mitch Trubisky, I'm not excited about Mitch Trubisky. Don't know why
Is
he was
anybody?
the number 1 quarterback drafted.
Other than his family.
But it is what it is. And his bank account. That's
exciting.
That's exciting. So, I mean, he's the number 1 QB drafted.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets that 4-year guaranteed deal.
Right.
And he might turn out to be something, or I didn't see it in college at North Carolina, but okay, I've been wrong before. So by the 3rd game, he'll be starting for Chicago, and they'll still be the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, 0-3.
The Bears. Number 1, it will take 2 games for NC2A champ Deshaun Watson from Clemson to get the starting nod in Houston. Watson has to overcome some accuracy issues throwing the ball.
Well, who's his competition there?
I I don't think he has any competition. I don't even
There
know.
you
I don't
go.
even know who they are. But
There it is, folks.
all I know is Deshaun Watson is a flat-out winner.
Right.
Any dude that takes your team to a championship 2 years in a row, you're a baller.
Yeah, especially in football, college football, absolutely.
I don't care in any sport. If you take your team to the championship 2 years in a row, you're a baller. If you're the best dude on that team, you're a baller.
All right.
And so championships, people underestimate how hard it is to get to and win a championship. It's one of the hardest things.
Yeah.
And so
That's Bill Russell. Oh.
yeah, yeah. He'll tell you that too.
Yes.
He couldn't win one with the Sonics.
No, for sure.
So he did take us to our first playoff ever.
Yes.
Though. So we
Detroit Pistons.
Yeah, we'll
three
give
games.
three game series.
Bro, I remember.
Back in the day.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they're talking about going back to a 3-game series, but we'll get to the NBA later.
Oh, okay.
I say that Deshaun Watson starts day one
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
for Houston, for the Houston Texans.
Yep.
The good thing about him not being the first pick of the draft is he got drafted by the Texans and not the Bears.
Right.
And so the Texans are a playoff team. So he's coming to a situation almost exactly like Russell Wilson, where he's got a really good defense and some good offensive weapons.
Right.
Probably a better line than Russell Wilson had.
Yes.
So he's coming into a very good situation. So I'm interested in seeing.
And they do come up here, too.
Oh, do they?
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting. We'll talk about that later. Speaking of NFL QBs, I've changed my mind after further research, and that's why I said we talk about this later. I might have to have you be the sole voice for the NFL this season on Lidline News because I am boycotting the NFL if they do not sign.
This is huge, folks.
Colin Kaepernick.
Wow.
I have made up my mind, tossed and turned, talked to a few people, done some research, and
that's a huge commitment. You know that.
I know that. And it's a tough one. And I've already walked my mind through. I've already purchased tickets. I've already got tickets. I already have people coming up from LA to Oakland to go to the Raiders-Chargers game. I'm still going to go, but I'm not going to the game if Kaepernick is not signed by then.
Okay.
Because I feel like what the NFL is doing is wrong. It's straight up wrong. And we talked about it before.
Yes.
And I didn't understand, and I still don't really understand Colin Kaepernick's contract that he left with San Francisco. He had an option year on his contract, researched it, and he renegotiated that contract. And I don't know if they actually paid him the $14 million up front, because he had $14 million year guaranteed against injury for this season that he renegotiated last year to become a free agent.
Okay.
There are no details that I have found in terms of how much money he received to renegotiate that contract. Because on our show before, I said that it was his fault that he wasn't playing this year because he did not accept his option year of $14 million and opted out of that contract. But he only opted out of it after they renegotiated it. And so I don't know, the terms of that. But I do know that since that has happened, he's been getting a runaround.
Well, even Bob Costas went out on TV and said that the man is being blackballed.
Absolutely. I want to change that term to whiteballed, because ain't no black folks keeping it from playing. and so that's what's called an anachronistic misnomer.
So we got some education going on right now.
You got to educate. And so I just think the NFL is they're having a slave mentality on this, and all Colin Kaepernick has not done anything wrong.
Right.
He has not been in trouble with the law.
No.
He has been a model citizen. He has taken a stand for people that have been dying at the hands of the police and people that have been mistreated in society, and has given a voice to the voiceless. And for doing that, he's being ostracized from a league that has and is paying and playing quarterbacks that have less talent than he does.
Much less.
And they're trying to paint it like in every situation, even with the 49ers, who have a new GM in John Lynch and a new coach in Kyle Shanahan, that he doesn't fit their system, okay? Because he is a run option quarterback. And allegedly the league has caught up to the zone read, and so now he's not that effective. Although once Chip Kelly actually started him last year, he had a pretty good year.
Right.
It wasn't bad. He had a pretty good year when you look into it. He threw for 18 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Right? And on only like 4 interceptions. His quarterback rating was almost 90. He had a good year. So they've been putting out in the press that he can't play anymore. He's not that good. All these excuses not to sign him to a contract. And so Kaepernick, if you want to play, let it be known that you want to play. Let it be known that it's not you that is not wanting to sign an NFL contract. I said on this show, too, that the Seahawks offered him a contract. He didn't take it as a backup.
Right.
Okay? So I understand that. And that was one of the reasons why I was not going to boycott, because I said, well, he could have been playing for the Seahawks if he'd have took that. But he was lowball.
Big time.
Here's a guy that could and should be a starting quarterback, earning at least $10 million. Now because he takes a stand for right and for good, that he can only make $1.5 million if he wants to play, and only play as a backup.
Right.
And then prove yourself that you'll be a good Negro, and then we might let you be a starter.
Right.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. And then, on top of that, this fake president that we have in the United States tells the NFL owners not to sign Colin Kaepernick because you don't want a tweet from me. Right?
Right. What's he doing getting involved with that? I mean, really?
I don't know, but this is my point. My point is, if Colin Kaepernick takes a stand for other people,
yes,
because he didn't need to do it.
No, he didn't.
If he takes a stand for other people at the risk of losing his job, then I, as a conscious black man in America, should take a stand with him. Because one of my favorite sayings is, wouldn't you like someone up there with you when you take a stand?
Right.
Right?
Well, look back on 1968 Olympics when John Carlos and the other brother, they held their fists up in the air. They did it in unison. You know, they was together. He didn't just do it alone. They were together. They had planned that. So, and you know, I agree with you and for your stance. I am not going to boycott, and for reasons that I just love football. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm not going to sugarcoat. I love football. I can't wait for it to start. Boycotting it to me right now is just not in my plan. Now, that doesn't mean that my plan cannot change, but as of right now, today, I do not plan to boycott it.
I love football too, but I feel like it's time to make a stand, take a stand, make a point. And I'm joining millions of others out there who are going to boycott the NFL.
Right, and I ain't mad at you, for sure.
Against Colin Kaepernick. I will be watching the heck out of some college football, though.
Hey, the CFL's playing.
I'll be watching that, too. Oh, man. Did you see the, speaking of football, did you see the meme, the Ezekiel Elliott meme?
I didn't, but you told me about it.
There's this meme with Ezekiel Elliott driving OJ's Bronco with the police in hot pursuit. And the caption was, Ezekiel Elliott headed to training camp like Those scofflaw Cowboys.
Are you talking about Lucky Whitehead?
Man, Lucky Whitehead is not lucky, Pat.
No.
For those of you who don't know, Cowboy receiver, returner Lucky Whitehead was arrested in June for shoplifting in Prince William County, Virginia, June 22nd actually, and failed to appear in court on 7/6. So he was arrested for stealing $40 worth of stuff from a convenience store at 1:30 in the morning.
Yes.
Like, really?
Yeah, he walked out of the Wawa. And then after he missed the court appearance, he was like, I didn't know anything about that.
Yeah. Oh, those scofflaw Cowboys. He's no longer a Cowboy. He was cut today.
That's right.
So if you see Lucky Whitehead walking down the street, hand that brother a Band-Aid, because he's been cut.
Yeah.
That's what we used to do back in high school.
Oh.
When they put the cut list up.
You guys was rough.
Dudes got cut. We started handing out Band-Aids.
Man, that's hurtful.
Oh, that was fun. You're listening to Lidline Sports.
Because you was quarterbacking at a high level.
At a high level. You're listening to Lidline Sports with Granville, Emerson, and my partner Renault Pepe Bean, and we're live on Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
Yes, sir.
Tell everybody about the radio on Rainier Avenue called Rainier Avenue.world.
Mm-hmm.
And now the story of Kyrie.
Kyrie.
What's up with Kyrie?
Kyrie said he wants to get traded.
That is the most ridiculous thing I ever heard. At first thought.
At first thought, yes. I mean, I agree. When I first heard it, I was like, no way.
I like Kyrie. And then there's like, Kyrie wants to be the man. He wants to get out from underneath LeBron and be the man.
So I guess winning championships or even being a contender for one isn't important. I mean, accolades and awards, individual stuff, that's more important to you than being on TV 6 million times, being a Cav, you know? Well, I mean, seriously.
Well, obviously he has selective amnesia because before LeBron came back to Cleveland, that dude was winning 22 games.
Right. There it is.
So if he wants to go back to that, more power to him.
Well, it looks like he might be going back to that.
He might be.
Because he's about to be gone.
He also blames LeBron or LeBron's camp for leaking his trade desire.
Right.
Now, that's funny. Everything's LeBron's fault.
Yeah, everything.
Kyrie is rumored to go to Minnesota for Jeff Teague and Andrew Wiggins.
No.
You wouldn't make that deal?
I'm not saying I wouldn't make that deal, but it's not going to happen because, you know, Cavs just signed D Rose. And the Cavs have leverage. They don't have to ship him anywhere if they don't want to. Of course they will, because before they got D Rose, the people were questioning, well, are they going to trade LeBron or are they going to trade Kyrie? Well, you can't trade LeBron because he's got a no-trade clause. And he
said he wouldn't waive it.
And he wouldn't waive it. And he's got 1 year.
Either.
And Kyrie's he still has 2 years left on his contract.
Yeah.
So he's the one you got to trade.
So my thing was Kyrie did all this to get out ahead of it and get out of Cleveland before LeBron left next year.
Right.
So that was my thought when I started thinking about it. I'm like, oh, he's just trying to get out because he knows LeBron's getting out and he's got 2 years left on his deal.
Yeah.
And so now I believe Cleveland will trade him.
Yes.
They have.
But they're not. I don't see them accommodating him on his 4 teams that he wishes to be traded to.
Yeah, he says he wants to go to the Miami Heat, Minnesota Timberwolves, New York Knicks, and his number one preference is the San Antonio Spurs. That's his number one destination.
Now, you know what's intriguing to me is the Minnesota. Apparently, it was said that before the draft that he had wanted to go to Chicago to play with Jimmy Butler. So now Butler is in Minnesota, so that's why Minnesota is in the mix. Because, come on, nobody's ever said that I want to go to Minnesota.
Never.
Ever. You know, that team or them, Sacramento, you just don't hear players saying, hey, I want to go there.
Yeah, right.
It's just not going to happen. So, right now, Cavs can say, man, I'm not sending you there. Now, they probably send him west, I would think, out of the conference. San Antonio, do they have enough to give back to Cleveland for Kyrie? I don't know. The one team that is talked about that they have enough, and that would be the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix can give up Eric Bledsoe, who happens to be one of LeBron's closest friends. And there's James Jones, who is a former Cav, is now vice president of basketball operations for the Phoenix Suns. So, all that's kind of, there's some tie-ins there, but they're tie-ins with LeBron, which is interesting. So are they gonna ship him off there or somewhere, where you don't expect him to go, like the Clippers?
What if LeBron is behind the curtain orchestrating it all?
Well, hey, the Wizard of Oz, the Great Oz.
What if him and Kyrie concocted this themselves? What about that? Huh? I don't know.
Don't know.
Richard Jefferson agrees with Kyrie, and he says he understands why Kyrie wants to be traded.
Right.
He says Kyrie has been through a lot after being the number one pick, and the organization is in flux, and LeBron came back and put him to number 2, and now LeBron's talking about leaving again, and so he just wants to get out from under all that. That's what Richard Jefferson says, and so we'll see.
Well, then, if that's so much the truth, and some of it, I'm sure, where there's smoke, why did Richard Jefferson resign there? I mean, I know he's long in the tooth, very long, and about, he's got senioritis, short timer, I don't know. But, I mean, if Cleveland was so bad, why is he going back?
I mean, he's just speaking for Kyrie. I mean, not himself. And so, I don't know. But I do know this. I know that now that they have Derrick Rose, Kyrie's out.
Yeah, but you know what? They're not getting the Derrick Rose of 2010 or 2011 or anything like that. They're getting Derrick Rose, is he damaged goods? Because he played okay with the Knicks. But he wasn't dynamite. He teaming up with Melo and Porzingis.
I want to give a shout out to Michael Mack from McAnally, who said he believes that Derrick Rose is going to have his best year in a long time, and he said that last week before the trade.
Okay.
I like Derrick Rose to Cleveland. He 18 points a game with the sorry Knicks last year. Mm-hmm. I like him a changed game, Derrick Rose, where he attacks the basket like only he can, and he's able to kick out the Cleveland shooters and play that role for them. Mm-hmm. And so we'll see how it all goes down. I don't know.
But is he gonna be as effective as Kyrie was?
I think he will. I think he'll get the ball out of his hands. I think Kyrie just dominated the ball too much. That's just my thought.
Okay.
Right? I mean, just dribble, and throw up crazy shots that is spectacular when they go in, but when they don't, the other team is going down and scoring. It's a 5-point or 4-0 turnaround. And so that's how I see it. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it all goes down. All I know is D-Rose is at Cleveland and Kyrie wants to be traded, and we'll see what happens with all of that. No time for what's going down in the town today, although there's an article in the Seattle Times about homeless kids that are being recruited to play at high schools that I think we all need to take heed to. Mm-hmm. You have been listening to Lidline Sports with Renault, Pepe Bean, and myself, Granville Emerson. Thank you for listening. You can listen to Lidline Sports right here on RainierAvenueRadio.world, on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and find us on Twitter at Lidline Sports. Join us again next week for more great sports talk radio on Lidline Sports. Sports as we see it from
just below our leg.
Holla.